I'm babbling so much. Fill it. Chan. Channel. Today's video is going to be a quick home gym tour. I get a ton of questions on where I got my equipment from, what pieces I chose for my home gym, and kind of the layout and where it actually is in my home. So I figured I'd go over that super quick. First, let's show you my gym. Across the room and some close-ups and stuff like that, you guys got a good idea of what kind of equipment I have in my home gym. So to start off, my home gym is actually on my second floor because I live in an apartment, and it's in my living room. So I literally changed my living area, which I had never used before, into my home gym space, which is so amazing for me because now I get to use it every single day. And before COVID, I was able to use it with my clients, so it's been really helpful for me. So as big as it looks sometimes in my Instagram video, it is just a small living room space, but I've managed to kind of make it into a space that is big enough for myself for training as well as my clients. So I'm super happy about that. So in terms of equipment and where it's from, because this is probably the most popular question I get, is just like, where's that from? Where'd you get it? Stuff like that. Let's start off with my functional trainer, aka my cable machine. So that one is from Treadmill Factory. It is the Element brand, and it is the commercial grade one. So it's around $4,000 before tax. This one is an amazing machine, super smooth, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to get it. You can get a functional machine for a little bit less, around $1,200 I think sometimes they start at, but just depending on the quality, sometimes they can be a little bit less smooth. But for me, because I eventually want to open up my own gym, I wanted to get a commercial grade machine. It comes with all the attachments, the rope, the handles, as well as like a little chain and what else? Like the straight bar and like the miniature like nunchuck bar. I don't really use those ones to be honest, but I do use the rope and the handles the most. So that's it for the cable machine and where it's from. But moving on to my squat rack, barbells, and free weights. That's my dumbbells and my plates. I got all of that stuff from Fitness Depot. So for me, Fitness Depot is one of the only places that one, had inventory, and two, wasn't a bad price point. Because I know there's a lot of places that are like jacking up the prices right now for weights because obviously they're in high demand for home gyms. So for me, I got all my stuff from Fitness Depot. It's a little mixed match. You'll notice in my video that there's some like rubber coated versus steel for both my dumbbells and my plates. At the time when I was buying my stuff, I was like, just give me whatever you have. These are the weight numbers that I want. Whatever you have, I'll take. I'm not someone who's super picky on like everything has to look the same. I mean, like of course it'll look better, but if you're someone who's just trying to get a good workout in and you don't care if your weights match, then by all means, definitely check out any type of store and see what they have in stock. And if they have it at a good price, definitely grab it because it will not last for long. Like you think, oh, I'll come back in a week and I'll get it. You will not. That will be sold out. So biggest tip when building your home gym is just get the equipment. Worry about the look and the aesthetics later. I know some people might not agree with that, but like if you're someone who's actually really caring about the training more than the aesthetics, just get what you need. Moving on to my flooring, which is the rubber flooring that you're gonna find in any commercial style gym. This stuff is actually amazing. I think a lot of people thought this was my flooring before I had my home gym and they're like, that's an interesting choice. And I'm like, no, like this is just rubber tiles to just lay on top. I have wood floor underneath. It's just to protect the floor from like obviously dropping the weights and like the dirty shoes and stuff like that from just wear and tear and everything like that. And this flooring I got from Landmark Athletics. They were the best price point, as well as in terms of like delivery and installation, I had done that all myself. Not as hard as you would think, not easy, but if you are someone who's a little bit like, ooh, DIY, you could definitely install your own flooring. You just kind of have to search it up and have some guidance, but it's definitely not too bad. So Landmark Athletics for my flooring, Fitness Element for my cable machine, and then Fitness Depot for my free weights, barbell, and squat rack. That kind of covers the main items of my gym. Going on to the accessory stuff, you would be surprised, a large majority of my accessories come from Amazon. So I got a couple more cable attachments from Amazon, as well as a Landmine, which is, so Landmine attachments sometimes can cost upwards of like $300 depending on where you're going. Mine was $50 from Amazon, and it does the trick. Technically it's supposed to hook into a specific squat rack, but I just like laid it underneath my squat rack and it fit perfectly, and I just use it that way and it's totally fine. So instead of spending like out of your bum prices for a Landmine little attachment, go to Amazon, see if you can find one for around $50 to $70. Definitely what I recommend. In terms of benches, I don't recommend Amazon benches. I did get one and then I sold it, and then I got another one from Amazon and then sold that one because it still wasn't good enough. I find they are too wobbly and too like, they just make you feel like it could break underneath you. And like, I'm a pretty small person, so even if I'm lifting like 40s and me, like it should not feel like this bench is gonna like break underneath me. So I got sturdier benches. The one I'm actually sitting on right now is from Fitness Depot. This one's surprisingly a very small, low to the ground bench, but it's really good for my shoulder press and my chest press. Because again, I'm a small person, so the regular ones that are sold at stores and stuff like that for just home gym equipment, they tend to be set really high, so like my feet just dangle. So I do have a taller bench, and that's more for like single arm rows or like seal rows, stuff like that, where I'm leaning against it and it's just a little bit easier. But I do definitely like the 2 different heights. So if you guys do have the budget to get 2 different height benches, if you're small, I do recommend it. If you're a regular size person, then you don't really need to. In terms of other accessory type pieces of equipment, I do have a hex bar, a football bar, a Victoria press for my Landmine. I have a stability ball, Bosu ball, med balls, as well as 2 or 3 different plyo boxes. 2 of them are wood, 1 of them is soft. Honestly, if you're gonna get a plyo box, definitely recommend getting a soft one. I know the wooden ones are cheaper, but the fear factor of like eating it on your shin, just not worth it. Definitely get a soft one. Bosu, I love a Bosu. I highly recommend getting one of those just because they are so versatile with training, especially if you are a trainer and have clients coming in as well. It's just a great little add in there too. My yoga mats are from Lululemon. I love them. Although I would recommend, if you do get a Lululemon mat, try to get a pattern one. I have just like a plain color and they just scuff up really easily. So that's kind of disappointing, but the overall quality is fine in terms of just like, I guess the overall quality isn't fine if it scuffs up, but it works for me. But I just recommend someone to get a pattern one just so you don't have to look at it and be like, oh, that kind of looks like it's a little bit worn out when you've only had it for like a couple months. That's my only complaint about that. And then I also have my Baseblocks equipment, which I've shown a ton on my Instagram. I have these strong blocks, which highly, highly recommend. They are so good for handstand training as well as stretching because they double as P-bars as well as yoga blocks. So highly recommend that piece of equipment if you are looking for, again, the best bang for your buck. And then we also have the training canes as well as the P-bar and the B-bar, or B-bar and bar. I forget the exact name, but there's one that has 2, so I call that one the P-bar, and there's just 1 single bar, which is really great. So that's pretty much it for my home gym. I know this was probably a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but I just wanted to walk through everything relatively in detail for you guys so you got a good idea. If you guys have any questions at all about any other pieces of equipment, let me know. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys again next week.